I don't get why Game Freak always makes flower girl Pokemon, but I know for sure that the cutest one came from Generation 7. No, not that one, Lurantis. I've always really liked Lurantis, and while it's not necessarily a competition between it and Sarina, I'm at least glad history has corrected itself and we can all appreciate the funny bug. Maybe a little too much appreciation, as I was reminded while scrolling through Google image search. But I mean, just look at this thing, perfect design. And I love how it's basically the ultimate Uno reverse card Pokemon. Lurantis is based off the Orchid Mantis, which looks a lot like a flower as a form of camouflage. But Lurantis is a grass Pokemon that looks like a bug, therefore being the opposite. And it's not just that, but according to Pokédex entries, it's able to get close to bug Pokemon because of its appearance and the scent of its flowers. And then finally, it goes in for the kill. Well, apparently there's no mention of it specifically eating other Pokemon, just that it uses its sharp petal sides to, quote, take them down. But with its behavior being described as such, like what else would it be doing? Really, I feel like Lurantis is also inspired by carnivorous plants. I mean, the whole thing about it using scent to lower the guard of bug Pokemon is spot on. No matter how much this thing looks like a bug, it's still a mono grass type the entire time. I mean, at this point, just put it together with the Traptrix monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! It'll fit right in. But like, actually, I love how well it works in the creepy dark forest setting. It would be really terrifying to be on the receiving end of those deadly petal sights. Why not have an event where you could battle a really big one? Yep, that's right, the bane of everybody's existence in Pokemon Sun and Moon, Totem Lurantis. While taking on Malo's trial after collecting ingredients and pressing A to pound, suddenly the Totem Lurantis sneaks up on us. I remember there being a fair amount of discussion around this battle being pretty difficult and yeah, it wasn't super easy. Mostly I think it was just a bit unbalanced, but hoo boy, I still remember the pain from years ago. Like the fact that it can just call Pokemon to set up sunlight is crazy. I haven't fully watched the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, but I do know there's an episode where Ash and Malo run into a Totem Lurantis as part of the trial and it captures the battle pretty well. And even in the beginning of the Pokemon Sun and Moon era of the TCG, Lurantis GX was a very solid card, having a low-cost move that deals damage while accelerating energy. Oh, and also Forest of Giant Plants was legal at the time, which meant it could just evolve from a Fomantis as soon as it hit the field. Truly a blood-curdling botanical behemoth. All wrapped up in the cutest striped pants you've ever seen. While I love the design and concept of this Pokemon from the get-go, the more I look into it, I think that monstrous plant persona fits it the best. I mean, this is nothing new. Ever since the very beginning of Pokemon, we've had grass types that take influence from poisonous and carnivorous plants. Lurantis is a great evolution of that kind of idea while also taking influence from insects. Seriously, as I've written the script, I kept wanting to make various references to it being a bug because that's all I see whenever I picture it in my mind, or look at images of it with safe search on. I guess that's why it gets the contrary ability, but it still does play into the beautiful flower idea as well. Normally, Pokédex entries will be balanced with one version mentioning how it attacks other Pokemon or has a deceiving appearance, while the other mentions how much time and effort it takes to maintain those beautifully colored petals. I think it really balances both of these aspects pretty well. And Pokemon knows how great this design is because they even made it into one of the most expensive outfits in the game. It's such a good idea, and while there was also the Komodo outfit, I really wish we would have gotten even more like this in the future. At the time, they reminded me of Monster Hunter armor, but nowadays these are totally what a special event sync pair would wear in Pokemon Masters. And by proxy, I also really appreciate Fomantis, just a funny little bean that evolves into this bigger flower. Like this thing even looks like a bug type, it fits in perfectly next to Kricketot. Except one of them will eventually eat the other. I do love that these Pokemon have stayed in the video game since their debut, getting to encounter Lurantis in the Forest of Focus on the Isle of Armor, and now in Scarlet and Violet seeing the whole evolution line more widely spread out. I've been wanting to get back to doing more one-off videos about Pokemon I happen to particularly like, and I've been thinking about Lurantis recently and really a lot of other Generation 7 Pokemon in general. So let me know what you think about the best grass girl in Pokemon, as well as what other creatures you think deserve a spotlight. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm about to go get my head bit off if you know what I mean. Hey, who the heck wrote that part of the script? Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, especially the great Gators, Brandon Mork, Cheeseburger Lasers, Gavnuts, Green Topaz 213, Justin R, Cosmo Zero, Largos, Michaela, Mochizuki Yoru, Quago, Volity, and Pastel Blood. If you would like to support, get your name shouted out here as well as access to emotes used in comments and live streams and sometimes some early videos, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter as well for more memes. Anyway, this has been GatorEX, and I'll catch y'all later.
New Beyblade Burst Evolution. action in Pokémon the series Sun and Moon, Saturday on Disney XD.